I'ma hit y'all with this, cause most don't wanna read shit. I'ma hit y'all with this, cause most don't wanna read shit. I'ma hit y'all with this, cause normies don't read shit. Woman in the Yard, a review. Schizoid affective disorder and a myriad of other mental issues is commonplace within the psyche of the FBA female. I would know from personal experience, having been primarily raised by two black women and by ultimately deciding to wed a US-raised Caribbean woman who suffered from schizoid affective disorder, a catalyst that helped torpedo our romance in 2020. Fast forward to 2024, a short-lived romance with an Afro-Latina raised in the States ended with her attempting to take a hammer to my head like a scene out of Hellraiser. Something is definitely in the water of the US leg of the African diaspora, on the feminine side. Yami Colette Serra's Woman in the Yard backs these familiar experiences, but adds on the Blumhouse not-so-secret sauce of family melodrama to really drive the point home of recognizing red flags when starting a romantic relationship with a FBA woman. Operating out of just box braids and a crop top, Danielle Deadweiler shines in the opaque feature even when the woman in the yard shows up to demolish the fragile reality Ramona Deadweiler had forged for herself and her surviving family after tragedy strikes and leaves her to indulge in the single mother trope. At least Deadweiler doesn't play up any stereotypes while undergoing the role of Ramona, but still, the film is unapologetically made for FBA audiences. Comedic cues, such as the flashlight clicking scene that begs the crowd to quote MJ on some Annie Are You Okay madness, or the Russian roulette finale where even Ramona's alter, portrayed by sinisterly endearing Ukwi Ukpukswili, is caught in the soliloquy, begging the suspenseful sequence to speed up. All that humor in the face of death arrives punctually on CPT. Shot in the FBA haven of GA, The Woman in the Yard works tightly around a small cast, focused on only Ramona's family, which is familiar when growing up in a single mother-raised household where mental illness runs unchecked. Peyton Jackson, as Ramona's son, plays the rebellious teenager who is now old enough to identify and call out his mother's issues, and Russell Hornsby portrays Ramona's husband who overlooks his wife's mental disorder to his untimely detriment out of his concept of love and loyalty. These are essential and relatable characters in the male FBA experience and offer direct, cautionary context clues as to why we should exercise extreme caution when dealing with our ethnic counterparts that share our U.S. nationality. On the woman's side, Estella Cahia portrays Ramona's daughter, Annie, who exhibits not only early signs of the same disorder her mother suffers from, but also has to worry about her mother putting a knife in her back, literally and metaphorically. Her role is the most sympathetic of all the characters, since she has no blood on her hands, but audiences still get clued in that she will still suffer from the sins of her mother, all chalked up to a not-so-wonderful theory pun and ran with called heredity. A couple of films have came out in the box office this season about depopulation, and The Woman in the Yard is no stranger to this territory. The film urges viewers to call the suicide hotline if they are having ideations at the end of the film, but the biggest warning in Colette Serra's production for the audience is to be careful with who you choose to build a future with, especially if that person you choose is an FBA woman. The stressors and historical trauma that their ethnic group suffer from makes them highly susceptible to become the main villain in your movie, too.